Today, I wanted to be here as one of the representatives of the Senate. Later on this morning, you will be hearing from my fellow Marylander and dear colleague, Senator Ben Cardin, who chairs the Helsinki Commission. But it is not a Maryland thing. It is an American thing, and for those of us who share this heritage. I just wanted to say to the Library of Congress, thank you for organizing this and working with the Kosciuszko Foundation and to be able to present this story, and to present this story in what we in the United States call the People's Library. When the United States of America was founded, we wanted to be founded on the rule of law and the government of the people, by the people. And to use the Polish saying, nothing about us without us. And yet we knew that a democratic society should be an enlightened society and an informed society, and therefore established the Library of Congress. But it wasn't only for Congress, it was for the people to always know the story of their own country, the story of great ideas that were being developed around the world, and also the story of the rest of the world. So how fitting that the most recent work of scholarship will be presented here at the Library of Congress. We want to thank the Kosciuszko Foundation for its steadfastness over these many years to keep this story alive and to encourage scholars to do it. So to all the scholars who are here today, we welcome you. But to all who are students of history, and in fact, I would recommend that we all be students of history. We're all here to learn new lessons and new information. Of course, today we're here to pay our great respects to the 22,000 people who died for Polish freedom 70 years ago in the Katian Forest, to remember the long struggle for democracy during the twilight of the Iron Curtain and the occupation of Poland over so many years, and also to honor the recent death of over 90 Poles, the leadership, as well as ordinary people who had fought in solidarity. In this great hall of learning, we hope today to learn about this tragedy. I'm not going to repeat the story of the tragedy. Others will do it. But it is well known that 22,000 people, Christian and Jewish, officers, intellectuals, civil servants, those who were to build and who were building a society for Poland, died through a massacre in that terrible, melancholy forest. For indeed, that forest is a melancholy place for people who were massacred simply because they were Poles and because they believed in freedom and independence of themselves and all of Europe. Remember, they died for Poland, they died for Europe, they died for Western civilization. What an incredible Polish story, from the Battle of Vienna that saved us, to the Battle at Katian, to the battles that go on today. Poland always was and will always continue to be in that forefront about saving our Western civilization. We of Polish heritage really have been raised remembering this terrible story. And it is only recently that more of the story is being told. I remember as a young congresswoman having to fight for the release of more information, even to acknowledge, number one, that it happened, and number two, that the Russians did it, and number three, to release all information. We hope that that continues. But what happened 70 years ago is now been further magnified because of what happened a few weeks ago with President Lech Kaczynski, who perished along with his beloved First Lady of Poland, Maria, and along with so many of the valiant people who fought for freedom. I felt particularly, we all know Lech Walesa, but I felt particularly close to the story of Anna Valentinovich, who was kind of the Rosa Parks of the Gdansk shipyard, because it was she was the one that they organized the strike over. And for all of you who are of Polish heritage, you know you don't push a Polish woman around. And when she's determined to have her say, she's even going to push the guys. And I think she helped put Lech Walesa over that wall. But when he jumped over that wall, he not only jumped for freedom for himself, but when he jumped, he took the whole world with him. Had there not been the Gdansk shipyard, there would not have been the end of the Cold War and the Berlin Wall coming down. So we look forward to learning the story today. Others will tell it more eloquently in a more scholarly way. But I wanted to be here today to show my commitment to always having this story told, and told in the fullest, most amplified, most complete way. But also to be here to affirm what those men and women died for there, and about the enduring relationship between Poland and the United States. The relationship for Poland and the United States has been intertwined since our founding. It is of great pride to me that the first strike in the United States of America was not for money. It was for the Poles who organized at Jamestown for the right to vote. So from Jamestown to the Library of Congress, from wars, the Civil War, the wars of World War I, World War II, from Monte Cassino to the forests of Katyn, and to the battles of Iraq and Afghanistan, we're in it together. Our relationship has been further strengthened because of the enlargement of NATO in 1998. I was proud to be part of that. And I'm proud today to be able to introduce the ambassador from Poland. But let me just affirm my admiration for Poland during these most recent days. Because if Poland has ever shown that she's free and independent and committed to a rule of law, it was after the tragic death in the forest. What did we see? Of course, the whole world mourned, but there was an orderly succession. There was no constitutional crisis. There was no economic uncertainty. There was no instability because the leadership had died in an airplane crash. Under the rule of law, the government continued. A president followed a parliamentary process to be interim. Elections have called. The economy continues. Polish borders are defended. Diplomatic relationships are sustained, and commercial enterprises continue to be developed. This is the new Poland. That's what they died for at Katyn. That's what they died for through the ages. But now it's not only what they died for, it's what we must live for. And we must live for this enduring relationship. So, ladies and gentlemen, I say on behalf of the United States Senate, and not only those of Polish heritage, we affirm this relationship, that it is enduring and it is everlasting. And I'm proud to be part of it. I'm also equally delighted today to introduce our ambassador of Poland, of the Polish Republic, to the ambassador to the United States. This particular ambassador is both a scholar and a diplomat, earning his own PhD with distinction, both in history and international affairs. He could have been an outstanding academic, and he has been. He is indeed a well-known and well-respected diplomat. He has carved out a name for himself in diplomatic circles for being an expert in security, diplomacy, and enduring these ties. We shared in each in our respective countries a role in the Polish accession to NATO. He was one of the pillars in Poland to do that. But he is well known here in diplomatic circles and with our own government. And I want to bring him to the podium. And in bringing him to the podium, I want to say to him and to all of you, our president did want to go to the funeral. I was going to go to that funeral, but it's not whether and we wanted to pay our respects to the leadership, to the fallen. But what our president wants to do is be able to maintain this very special relationship. And we all look forward to doing that. So let me bring to the podium for his own words, Poland's very own ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Dr. Robert Kupiecki. Thank you very much.